my gosh. Right now, you see right here, I am watching it live. The Fed has not released or changed rates in over 5 straight times of voting. This is 5 straight quarters. They've had no change. I'm going to be sharing with you directly based on this information how this is going to affect business owners in the United States, real estate investors, standard investors, and what we are going to be doing about it as a company. By the way, if this is your first time here, my name is Hugh, and I used to run a manufacturing facility, $52 million. I applied that skill set over to my personal finances and retired a millionaire, and now I just help my business owner friends retire their businesses and build generational wealth. We're going to get into what this means and what I am personally doing about this. So I'm going to start sharing that right now.
Modestly restrictive.
All right, as we said, Jerome Powell right now is still answering the questions live in the room, and this is directly how it's going to be impacting us. So it is the highest the funds rate has been. I'll get to it right here. There has been basically a 1-point drop since last year, and that was pretty much it. We are still at a very, very high rate, and this is what it's going to mean for most business investors throughout this entire time. So first and foremost, borrowing costs are going to remain the same and high, right? So the Fed funds is 4.5% or so, which puts mortgages at like that 6.5% range. And then that means that for us in commercial real estate or business loans, you're looking at the 7.5%, 8% range. So it is a very big pain point. So this is the 5th time in a row that they have not brought rates down, and small business owners, everyone's just kind of holding their breath because they're waiting for rates to come down, right? You see a lot of people feel that pain. People aren't purchasing inventory. There's a scare with the new tariffs in place that are raising the cost of raw materials, and they're staying there. They're not going to be budging. And with the high interest rates, what's happening is that small business owners like us, investors, it's going to continue to affect us a lot. It's going to prevent expansion. It's going to prevent growth, right? The ability for us, if you followed the last few updates through this, the ability for us as a personal company to be able to expand, refinance, go and make another home better, right? Go into the neighborhood, find another rundown home and fix it up, make it safe, get it back out there operational, without depending on the taxes for the government. Those are basically completely hamstrung. I am unable to do that I'm not unable to do that, but it is an extreme amount of effort for me to continue to do that with the high rates. So similarly, a lot of people who are looking to buy new equipment and hire more people, bring people on, it's just not happening out there. And this access to capital, access to funds, the borrowing rate being so high is directly impacting a lot of that. Number 2, the economic outlook is worsening. So if you listen to Jerome Powell's June rate cut decision, then it was basically, hey, we're keeping everything the same, but he had an optimistic outlook. That optimism did not share the same through this month's statement. So it was more moderate growth, right? Tons of uncertainty out there. A lot of business owners are now already affecting and feeling that impact of what the tariffs are doing. And that combined with the rate not coming down is absolutely holding our feet to the fire. So you're going to continue to see layoffs happen as budgets tighten up, and less purchases, less raw materials. So all the suppliers, businesses, they're impacted. The raw material businesses are impacted, and that's where we're seeing a lot of layoffs. The layoffs are happening up the chain. And less towards the bottom of the chain. While we tighten up, the end users, the end buyers are tightening up, where everybody's feeling it. Another thing with the worsening economic outlook is people are not going out to eat anymore. People are not going out to spend money. Any business owners in the restaurant industry, in the brewery industry, whatever, the beverages, the previous amount of spending is just completely evaporated. We had several years of spending where, hey, let's go out to eat, let's support the economy. Now people are tightening the belt, and those things are, people who would go out, hey, let's go out to eat once or twice a week. They're not going out to eat at all anymore, right? Everybody's staying home. Those are impacting those business owners. Those business owners are then letting people go, and then those people don't have money. So then, and so on and so forth. It is just a downward spiral right now. Number 3, mortgage and real estate. So this is not a good and a bad thing. This is just how it is. So in general, rates are going to stay the same. We're probably going to see that downward pressure continue to happen on prices of real estate. If you're in the Midwest, it's probably not going to affect you. If you are on one of the coasts, it might affect you a little bit. The moment that rates drop, we're going to see increases start taking off. So if you were thinking about purchasing a building, if you're thinking about purchasing a primary residence, if you're thinking about purchasing an investment, this continued higher interest rate is going to allow you to probably buy at a lower price or buy at the current prices. Remember, the moment the interest rates drop, people can afford to pay more because everyone's looking at the monthly payment, right? They're not saying, oh, I can spend $300,000 in this house versus $250,000 in this house. They're looking at, hey, I can afford $1,800 a month. $1,800 a month with high interest rates gets you a different house than $1,800 a month at low interest rates. And so this is an opportunity, right? So those of you who have skill sets, you can get into the market and you can possibly buy things now for cheaper. Again, this is one more sustained month of pain. So anyone who is just barely hanging on, hoping rates would drop, they may now be in a pickle, and you might be able to pick up a good deal for it. So we are personally, as a company, looking for exactly those deals. We are looking to take advantage of the market conditions. Right now, it is absolutely a buyer's market. It has been for a long time. And that pain, the more the pain is there for business owners and real estate investors, the more it's a buyer's market. So if you can figure it out, be creative, get into creative real estate, creative finance, go check them out. Business Wealth Blueprint if you want to check out the investing tools. But earlier this year, I bought an apartment complex for $0 out of pocket, and I put $104,000 in my pocket, tax-free, buying something. So I bought something, I got paid to do it. It was a tax-free event. I'm now using that money to renovate that property. So there was a lot of pain out there. We had a creative way to be able to fix it, and we were able to buy and still scale during that time, right? So for real estate people, this might be your time. If you're buying an FHA 504 loan, go ahead and you might be able to buy right now, move your company into it, and then refinance when rates are lower. So don't be afraid of the high interest rates. It's just a different part of the market, right? When interest rates flip, then everyone's gonna have access to money, but then there's gonna be no deals. Right now, there's deals everywhere, and there's no money. So find the solution, figure out the money part. Remember, if you can find a good deal, money is the easiest part that's gonna come about. And just a great example, also last week, I think 2 weeks ago, we bought a 2-building apartment complex, and 1 week ago, we bought a mobile home park. And those were all off-market deals that we were able to take down and take advantage of because that pain level is still high. We are able to buy them right now while interest rates are in a terrible condition. We were able to buy them for a lower price. We were able to negotiate the price down even further. We were able to get concessions from the sellers and have the sellers carry portions of the debt. Why? Simply because it's super easy for us because no one else can buy right now, right? It's a buyer's market. So right now it still makes sense for us. We're going to be able to buy more, but in the meantime, while prices are high, we are able to acquire things for a lower price. The moment that interest rates drop, we're going to refinance. Either going to refinance and pull cash out of it, or we're going to refinance and we're going to drop our payment significantly. And again, we are just we're not buying dumb deals, but we are still buying deals because we have that leverage now that everyone's in pain. We're one of the few buyers out there still buying. Business owners, are you aware that I have a newsletter down below in the description, and it is full of all the tactics and stuff that if I put it on YouTube, I will be demonetized. It is a weekly newsletter that will go out telling and talking to you guys about the things that will help you and us, our businesses, stay ahead. If you're interested, click the link below. Now, back to the video. Labor market and business risk. This is number 4, and this is going to be a big one. So every single business that has employees that does things, it is going to probably be painful, right? Especially the manufacturers. If you're in the United States and you're manufacturing, it's going to continue to hurt. It's not going to be pleasant. Tariffs, we're already feeling that. I know I've had some friends already get laid off, and it's just rippling through everything. Again, people further away, people closest to the end use of whatever the thing is, those people are feeling the pain and they're cutting back. The ripple effect of the middlemen before them and the manufacturers and the raw material folks, those guys are the ones that are probably hurting them the most right now. Comment down below if you are seeing a matchup with that. This is just a continued risk of layoffs, which is not going to be good. Now, what's the silver lining in this? Hiring. for a long time, we couldn't find any good people because no one wanted to work. Right now, there are a lot of good people that are being laid off, and we are able to pick up some people where we have not been able to hire before. Now we are able to hire people now, which is for the first time. So we actually are having a new person join our team on Monday, which is great because we couldn't hire anybody from January until April. We finally got one person continuously hunting for jobs, hunting for people to join. And then finally, we were able to hire the second person. So we might be able to actually fill our team and keep our team happy with great employees. Now, with the labor market and everything, we are prioritizing as a business. Personally, we are prioritizing cash flow. We are looking at what are our employees doing? What is our business doing? What are we bringing in? And we are actually going back to the drawing board and saying, does that make sense, right? And one of the things we are doing is we are reallocating some of our time of our employees. Hey, we have these guys working on this service or this product that doesn't make money, but we don't want to let our team go. How can we reutilize that same team to do something else, right? Where historically it made sense. It made absolute sense for us to do that. So for us specifically right now, we have a team of mowing crew. Our mowing crew helps keep our prices down on the real estate side because we're not paying mowers, we're mowing ourselves. Well, right now we've evaluated, hey, a lot of pains out there, a lot of mowing companies have slashed their prices. It's now cheaper for us to hire a mowing crew. Now we can reallocate our resources to general maintenance, right? Going in and doing landscaping. Hey, we were going to pay $1,500, or actually this is a direct example. We were going to pay $5,000 to landscape 3 of our buildings. And we were able to reallocate 2 of our employees for 2 days. And we were able to slash that landscaping budget to almost nothing. I think total all-in cost, including labor, is like $1,000. And it was also a very basic landscaping in the first place. And it was just taking care of vegetation, getting it back under control. What happened when we did that? We immediately were able to fill the vacancy because we've been hurting on that property for a really long time. So we are looking at reducing and moving around our workforce. Think about Kimberly Mills, right? When they sold their paper mills, that's all they did. And they went into different products, right? That's what they did, and they reallocated their workforce and staff to a higher and better value, right? Look at the profit. Look at the bottom line. Not necessarily let your team go. If they're a great team, don't let them go. But can you use them to do something else? Are you making more dollars over here versus less dollars over here? Are there some products and services that you are offering that you shouldn't be offering at all, that you could just slash that and just free up your available time, free up your available workforce to tackle bigger and better things? All right, and finally, 5. The 5th takeaway from this is future rate cut and uncertainty and policy dissonance. So for the very first time in 30 years, it has not happened in 30 years, there were actually 2 votes that were dissenting votes. So every vote before this have been unanimous on what everyone thought should happen. And this month, we were very, very close to having it flip the other way. So we had 2 votes. Now, for those of you who don't know, 12 votes are required, so you need a majority vote, which is at least 7 votes to be able to adjust the rate. But the vote was 9-2, and before that, it has not been that close. So there are people who are they're feeling the pressure versus the previous unanimous decisions. So take that for what you will. You need a 9-2 vote versus the previous amounts. However, you can see that there is now disagreement. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to cut rates later, but there is now disagreement, and you see that, right? So instead of the unanimous voting that everything has just defaulted to in the past. So take that for what you will. Future planning, right? I am still looking forward. I'm looking for the threats, and this is exactly what that means for me. My businesses, we are still planning, right? Right now, it's hard to sell. I want to sell a bunch of my stuff, and it is going to be difficult to do that. I can get creative. I can offer seller financing, but everyone's just holding their breath while money is tight. And but it's still a hopeful sign. That is in my opinion, it's a good sign that 2 people have said, hey, no, we really wanted to come down. We might look for that coming in the fall. Might, be able to supercharge or start adding those funds to the economy while things are unfolding. All right, guys, here is the actual rates and what they were on the date and what the votes were, starting from 2020 all the way till now. So again, you have these votes here, and on a 12-person vote, we have not had more than one person be a dissonant where there's two or more since 1993. So here you see almost everything's a unanimous decision, right? 12-0, 12-0, 12-0, 11-0, 11-0, 11-0, 12-0, 12-0, 12-0, all the way to last month, right? September, we had a 12-1. One person dissenting is pretty common. This 9-2 right here, this is the first time since 1993 that something like that has happened. So 2 members officially did that, and they had wanted a rate cut. Again, official statements, everybody is looking for wanting to keep. Again, take with that what you will. I'm going to go ahead and plan on rates continuing to remain high. As fall happens, if things happen that allow me to do that, that's great. I'm going to continue to use the strategies of, hey, we are in a high interest rate environment, right? When rates start to drop, it's probably not going to tank. It's probably going to drop a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, and it's not going to be immediately effective. But thinking ahead, being proactive instead of reactive, right? I'm looking at this as the next opportunity to buy or expand right now while equipment is expensive, while money is tight, right? You're going to have your vendors and suppliers. They might sell you equipment for cheaper than normal. You might be able to pick up or scalp employees that you need. This is a good time if you're positioning yourself, right? Position your war chest, right, for a battle, right? Right now, it's been a lot of pain, and everyone is just kind of fighting not to lose. So right now might be the time to start thinking about fighting to win. And that's exactly what we are doing. I will bring you more updates as they come about. If there's anything else, this is directly from as of, looks like 28 minutes ago when I started this. Hopefully that is helpful, guys, and I'll let you know. Comment down below what you think is going to impact you the most.